And then what supplements are you currently taking or have taken that you feel have given you the best gains?
You know, I really try to emphasize to people that supplements are supplemental, and they support a strong diet, strong training regimen, and they're not magic. The supplements that I go to are normally the ones that have been proven time and time again with studies, and that's creatine. And of course, you got to stay within the limits of your organization. What's banned, what's not. So pretty much anything hormonal is out. Creatine, branched-chain amino acids, beta-alanine, citrulline malate. There's only probably a good 8 or 9 supplements that really have a measurable impact. They become more important as you're dieting because you're getting less food to fill in those gaps. Something like fish oil, multivitamin, that becomes more important as your calories are getting low. I'm lucky enough to be sponsored by Controlled Labs, so I get high-quality amino acids and creatine from them in the form of Purple Wrath and Green Magnitude. And I like them because they have high quality, but it's not, they're not magic. They're just a high-quality, reputable supplement company that gives me the same things I'd buy from another company. It's just I trust them. And I think quality control is very important. I've seen or heard stories of a few natural competitors failing a drug test because, their multivitamin or their creatine happened to be tainted with some, andro or something else because it was in some big factory by a supplement company that made those kind of supplements also. And I have a lot of trust and faith in Controlled Labs that it's just what it says is on the label. So I think it's important to get the basics and focus on quality.
Cool. Now, creatine, monohydrate, ethyl ester?
Monohydrate. It's the one that 95% of the studies show is effective. If you understand the way creatine works, then you start to realize that, combining it with carbs or, combining it with different types of, shuttling methods to get it into the muscle cell is kind of pointless. Creatine already exists in the body, and after about 3 weeks of taking it at moderate doses, it will stay at supplemental levels higher than normal levels in the body, and that's all that's required. So after the first 3 weeks of taking about 5 grams a day, you're just trying to maintain those levels. You don't need to take it, make sure I take it post-workout with grape juice or anything like that, or take the phosphagen or whatever that shuttles into the muscle cell. It's already there. It's kind of like just topping off your gas tank is the way you want to think of it. And I think creatine is an effective supplement, and if you combine it with all kinds of other fun stuff, you can justify jacking its cost up and have people buy more and using more frequently. And, I don't think anyone has any illusions that the supplement company is just like any other industry and they want to make money, but 5 grams of creatine monohydrate a day, and you're good to go.
Sweet. Okay, and then how has the use of online resources been a key role in your success and the building of Team 3DMJ? I know you talked about looking at Lane Norton's stuff, but there's tons of websites out there. There's video out there. What have you used personally?
We've used a lot of things, and it's absolutely crucial. I would say that I would probably be a much less successful competitor and possibly have quit bodybuilding if it wasn't for the internet. Jeff is always saying that it took him, 18 years or something to get to the level of knowledge that, say, like Berto, Brad, and I have from just, 4 years of being able to get access to the information. And, he was very annoyed that, the only outlet he had for a while was, Flex Magazine. And, we found that a lot of the same things that we've figured out have come from his trial and error versus our research. And we utilize a lot of things with 3DMJ. We do online posing coaching, and we use Skype just like we're doing here, which is a huge time saver. We communicate with clients mostly via email unless they're local, and we send pictures through online. I communicate with a good chunk of clients on a regular basis, and I'm able to do so through the internet. We've pretty much marketed ourselves and given exposure to athletes and the sport in general through the use of Facebook, the bodybuilding forums, and a few other bodybuilding forums, and Twitter and our website. So I would say social networking, Skype technology, and email have been absolutely essential to the way we operate. Definitely.
If you're going to a website and you want just awesome content, like a bodybuilding.com, like a muscular development, what would you say is your favorite?
That's a tough one. The thing about bodybuilding websites and the internet is it's good for all the reasons I stated before, but it also gives you so much information that it can get overwhelming. And if you don't have a good filter for discerning what's good information and what's bad information, it can almost hinder you. Because anybody with a website can tell you how to bodybuild. So probably my favorite website is bodyrecomposition.com. That's Lyle McDonald's website. And it's very emphasized on research, scientifically proven things, studies, and articles written about how to approach the sport if you're a natural bodybuilder from a way that makes sense both in the gym and in the lab. Not to say that I put all my stock in science, and if it's not proven in a study, it's BS, because we can only know what we've researched. But to me, there has to be some kind of quality control. So any website that emphasizes studies along with, in the trenches, a combination of that information and logical, non-marketing hype kind of websites, I'm all about. And I think Body Recomposition is great. We really try to do that at 3D Muscle Journey. I also like the big sites. Muscular Development and bodybuilding.com are great because they have everything, but you just have to know how to discern between what's some guy's opinion that may not be really backed up by anything except his experience in the gym, or something that is rooted in science and has also been backed up in the gym. So it's kind of a double-edged sword, the internet, I would say, in that aspect.
Okay. And who would you say over bodybuilding, your bodybuilding career, has been your biggest role model? You can even name 3 if you want.
Okay. On a very personal level, I would have to say that Jeff, Brad, and Alberto have been really influential on me. Brad's a guy who totally turned his life around with bodybuilding and fitness. He went from working a kind of 9 to 5 that maybe wasn't too excited about and kind of being out of shape and not very happy with it, to transforming himself into a pro bodybuilder, a California state record holder in powerlifting, and opening his own gym. And he's also a husband and a father, and very good at both. And he stays focused on the big picture. Alberto, I think he's absolutely fantastic at connecting with people. He really knows how to support you, and he really tends to put other people before him, almost to a fault sometimes. And he's just a very balanced, healthy guy, and he knows how to bodybuild without it becoming an obsession, and making it something that enhances your life. So I would say Alberto has been fantastic for that. And Jeff, definitely. I look at him as someone who is still enjoying the sport a decade and a half from where I am, and that's inspiring to me. Whenever I see a Masters competitor who has the same fire I do, I think, man, that's awesome, because I want to be doing this when I'm, 50-something, or even older. And besides that personal level, I would actually say Lane Norton was a big inspiration to me, just because he provided, at least the place I found, the information that allows you to do this intelligently and based on science. And it got me out of, Flex magazine and nothing wrong with Flex. Just it got me out of kind of the mainstream, hardcore without any thought about what you're doing, image-based kind of just like, yo, bro, let's do it. And I think it's good to have some fire and some passion and just feel bodybuilding in your gut. But it's like anything, There are strength and conditioning athletes, coaches in every sport for every athlete, whether it's, football, baseball, you name it. And I think anybody smart understands that you should approach any sport that way. And Lane was the guy who really got me thinking about bodybuilding and the science behind it and what's the best way to approach it, and got me doing things in a more sustainable way, instead of dehydrating backstage or just, bodybuilding shouldn't feel like you're dying towards the end. It's definitely grueling and hard, but I think if I'd continued on the path I had without reading some of the articles by Lane Norton, I probably would have quit the sport and gone, man, this is unhealthy and terrible, So I would say the rest of my my teammates in Lane Norton.
Very cool. And then just two last questions. Where can we find you on the internet?
3dmusclejourney.com. That is our spot. I have a question and answer column that I write every month. We have articles that we try to put out every month. Jeff has a blog there. We cover shows in our area. We're actually getting some guest authors from other parts of the country to write basically a blog and pictures and video of shows. We talk about pretty much everything that is related to both competitive and non-competitive bodybuilding on our website, from inspiration to injury prevention to training to nutrition to videos. And we really try to promote the sport and really showcase athletes who you probably wouldn't hear of, give inspiring stories, that sort of thing. You can also find us on Facebook, same name, 3D Muscle Journey. And myself, Alberto, and Brad, we have online training logs on the bodybuilding.com forums. So that's where you can find us.
Very cool. And then lastly, what are your future goals?
My goals. I have some long-term and some short-term ones. Right now, I'm really focused on having a very good and enjoyable 2011 contest preparation season. I'm really looking forward to competing with the rest of my teammates, Brad, Alberto, and Jeff. It's going to be really inspiring to see Jeff make his pro debut and Brad and Alberto have their second outing. And we're all planning on going to New York and competing in Worlds if plans don't change. And my goal, although I definitely want to get my pro card, the main goal is to not get hurt and beat the last time I got on stage. And if I get the pro card, that'd be some icing on the cake. But I have to say there's some really, really impressive competitors out there, and watching all the guys compete and training clients, there's some great athletes out there. And it would just be an honor to stand on stage with them. And if I can beat some of those guys and win an overall, fantastic. I'd love to get a pro card, like I said. But mainly it's have a successful prep. Long term, I would like to try to actually be competitive in the pro ranks. Whether that's the WNBF or the IFPA, we'll have to see how the organizations pan out and where I get my pro card if I get it. But I would love to be able to be top 5 at the world stage level. And I would also like to try to get elite, which is just a ranking for powerlifters in the 198 weight class long term. But in general, stay healthy, enjoy the sport, and help more people get inspired and compete and get something positive out of it. That's my main goal.
Very cool. Very cool. Well, thank you for taking time out of your day to join us.
My pleasure.
Yeah, and thank you guys for tuning in to MassMuscleTV, bringing the competitors to you. I just want to real quick say that we actually are going to be doing interviews with the rest of 3DMJ eventually, so we're going to cover them all. Awesome guys. They're tearing it up. I would definitely recommend you check out their website. It'll be in the description below. But yeah, thank you so much for tuning in. Peace.
Thanks, Caleb.